Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Messy Missy Creates. Getting this out to you a little late, which is the name of my game lately, but anyway, this is going to be my November journal, and I've already cut down the tabs. I could have gone ahead and cut down the rest of it, but I thought I would just do that with you and show you what I've already kind of shown you. This, I think I showed it to you last month. This is what I had planned on using. I really like this. I don't know whether I want this as the cover or the inside, and then that's an inside option as well. So that's what I'm working with here. Oops, just hit my light. And of course my trusty Triscuit box. And I finally got these done. I know it's late, and most of you have already probably, figured out what you're going to use journal-wise or number-wise in your journals. But the pumpkins have been out, or they've been listed on Etsy. I just got the leaves listed. I struggled getting the rest of them finished for technical reasons. And then this is... Here we go. This is what actually is on Etsy. So this is the days of the week, and I do them in like weekly strips, if that makes sense. So these are now listed in my Etsy shop, or by the time this is posted, this will be listed in my Etsy shop. I know that November only has 30 days, but I go ahead and do 31 because I've bought printables before that stopped at 30 days and I wanted to use them in a month. If you buy them, you have them forever. And next month, you might want to use that in October or something like that. So I go ahead and just put the 31 on there. It doesn't hurt anything. I don't think it hurts anything. Anyway. So, where are we at? I get my trimmer here, and now that I can fit this on this desk, this makes things a whole lot easier. It's still a little big for the camera angle there, but it'll work. So, how are you doing? Let me think for a second. I think I want 6.5. Yeah, that sounds like a good, not so round number. That'll work. That tends to be my go-to. And then I won't fool with, yeah, I think I'm just going to do 6.5. I don't think I'm going to add any for a spine. Maybe I will a little bit. How about 6 3/4? Yeah, but that means I got to get my scoreboard out. Okay, it's out. So if I do a 1/4 inch spine, that would be sufficient. So this would be the 6 3/4 mark right here. So is that right? Yeah. Okay, I think that looks right. Sounds right, looks right, something's right. So, let me put this up without making a big clang. I'm hoping that I have my bone folder back in here. I didn't move everything back in here after I made all those journals. Well, I think it is. I have, well, if nothing else, I can use this. I just like to smooth out that, because I don't want that crease there anymore. So when I glue paper over it, it won't crease there, but I like to flatten that out just a little bit. This is how, if I were to take and cut 6.5 and 6.5, and then make a spine. I could do that, but I just don't see the point in it. Well, this is going to be interesting without a bone folder. Huh. Maybe it will turn up by the time I get to that point. I really wanted to... I thought I had everything. Well, let me look. In the meantime, tell me how you're doing. I almost did a live last night. My husband was out of town this weekend, and I was by myself. And I have been... We had a near freeze. Oh, wait, maybe it's in here. Let's see. Nope. This is my little Happy Camper mug. Isn't that cute? My paintbrushes. What would I have done with it? I would have thought it would have been right here. And pour my little drawer out. See if it's in there. Nope. Well, where else would a bone folder be? I mean, I have 2 or 3 of them. It doesn't have to be the one I'm looking for. But I need one of them. Interesting. Oh, I know where it is. I bet. Yep, here it is in my bookbinding stuff, because that's where my tape is too. Boy, when I was making those journals for my daughter, I made 6 of them, and that used up a good bit of that tape. Okay, so I have that, and I already smoothed that down a good bit. But while I have this out and up here, this thing is so old. I think I've had it for, oh, I don't know, 10 years. Let's see, probably more than that. Where do I want this? What did I say? A quarter? I'm going to do it this way so I know that it's right. I'm going to do it at 6.5 right here. Now I will have to do it again once I get the paper glued on, but at least if I have a start, that helps a little bit. So that way I have 6.5 from each side, and yeah, that will be a good start. So, this is not the beginning of the month. I think I might have told you no, I didn't. I was going to make my journal on either the 31st or the 1st. And I ended up getting on the 31st, I ended up seeing the rheumatologist, and I had to have an injection right here in my thumb joint, which that looks like your wrist, but it's actually, they pull the thumb out and expose that joint. It's where it meets your wrist right here. That hurts a little. So, and then it always, whenever I have it done, I have to have it done like every so many months, every 3 to 6 months. And I don't ever remember him telling me not to use my thumb for 2 days. That's what he told me this time. Don't use it for 2 days. Now, I know that when they do the injections, they want you to kind of not use it as much as you can, or refrain from using it as much as you can, so that the medication, that steroid or whatever it is that stays in that joint. But this was the first time that he had told me not to use it at all for 2 days. So that was 31st, 1st, 2nd, and then what was I doing the 3rd? I think I was protecting my stuff from freeze, or was that anyway, whatever. I didn't get to, last night was the 3rd. That's right. So today is the 4th. So I'm very late making my journal. That's the moral of this story. So that was not what I had planned on doing. Let me look for my other paper cutter. I thought that I had everything ready to go, but I did not. This was just right behind me. Oh, am I going to use this? Hold on. That's what I was doing. Do I want to use this or for the outside, or do I want to use this? I love this, and I've used it as the inside before. Let's see. Here are my... I got this at Michael's. It was kind of a fall. They had it 40% off. And, of course, I have this. And... where did it go? I was thinking about this. This came out of this bundle. But I have this. And I don't think I'm going to use this blue. If I use anything, it will be this, like this kind of orange maybe. But I was thinking of using something a little different. Uh-oh. I lost my... Here we go. Fell on the floor. I like that. That's different than what I've been doing. I also like this. These are little chenille loops. That's kind of fun. And this would have probably been good for a Halloween. I didn't have it at Halloween, or I would have used it. And I like this. Not necessarily for the fall journal, but I really like that color. So what else do I have? But I have this. I got this for 99 cents at the thrift store last week. Or week before, whatever week it was. Again, that would have been fun for Halloween, huh? But I was wondering if this matched. Not really. If I use this one, I could get away with this. I love this little pom-pom. And then I have this that's like a tassel. It's not exactly the same color blue, but with only having that little bit of blue in the writing, I could get away with that. That same thrift store haul, I got this for $1.99. It's one of those thin ones. I love these things. I have thicker ones, and this one came with a bunch of doodads and, you know, threads and things like zippers, things like that. So that'll be fun. I haven't even plundered in it, but I snatched that up in a hurry. I haven't cleaned it up or anything. So this is a little more turquoise than this is, or it's a little brighter than this. Like if I were to try to use it on this one, I could use it on this. But is that kind of plain? I mean, not plain, but I don't know. When else am I going to use this thankful paper, right? Of course, when else am I going to use this? So let me go back to this for a second. I like this on that. And I like, where'd that little chenille one go? I like this one too. It's twisty. That would be fun to play with. But I'm thinking I like this. This is, yeah, maybe so. It won't be as much fun to play with, but I'll probably have other opportunities to use that. But anyway, if I don't get going, I'm going to be all day making this journal. The other option is something like this, and that looks good too. Kind of just that burnt orange. So I think I'm going to go with this. That was the moral of that story, was which paper I'm going to go with. And I need to get on the ball here. Let's see. This one is kind of backwards for me. This isn't one I use a lot. This is one I got like at a thrift store or something recently, like in the last couple months. It was only 99 cents. I mean, heck, anytime you can find a trimmer for 99 cents, that's pretty good, right? No, that's not. I had it at 9. Okay, I wanted it at 6. The 6s and the 9s look very similar. It doesn't have to be exact, but I would like it a little closer than it was. Okay, that's good enough. So, I have such a mess in my craft room, y'all. It's unreal. I never did clean up from, you know, when I was making those other journals. Obviously, you saw me just fumbling for my, looking for my, whatchamacallit, bone folder. Oh, the other thing is I printed off a couple of the printables. This is not all of them, but this is from February and June. And I really love these colors for this month. To me, this is, I would have loved to have used these in September as well. But I really like these colors. So I might use these as well. This was her Patreon printable, or some of them. This is just the days and the weeks and labels, blank labels. But isn't that cute? She does such a good job. And there's like many other ones, but I just printed these for now. Oop, hit my lights. Okay. Oh man, we're almost 20 minutes in. All right, get on the ball, woman. Alrighty. Now this is directional paper, so it matters. It matters. So I want to make sure that I glue it on right side up. And yeah, so I whipped out 6 journals in not very long. Now I had help counting out the pages, and well, that was pretty much it. But I may or may not get to sewing it in with you, and if not, that's okay. You've seen that many times. You've seen this many times. 1 month, I want to try doing the collage. And I'm also really thinking hard about, I was trying to scooch that down just a hair, but I'm thinking hard about selling some journals on Etsy. It's not going to be, you know, maybe in the new year. Would any of you be interested in buying journals, either like this, like for the daily journal, just kind of blank? Or would you prefer more like a junk journal? Okay, now direction matters, for sure. Let me cut that little strip off. And I don't know. I've got to get, I would have to get more prepared as far as like for the shipping. With the printables, I don't have to ship anything. I used to have, when I did Etsy a lot, I had a shipping station. And I would have to get set up to do that. So you got to have scales and all the shipping stuff and everything. And I would want them to be ready to go out, you know, by the time I would list them. But it's just something that I'm thinking about for the new year, maybe. Maybe not by New Year's, but in the new year. At some point. So what do you think? Would you buy a journal? And if so, what kind? I'm assuming that if you're watching me, that at least some of you do daily journals. Ooh, I put way too much glue on that. I mean, I put the glue over too far. But, yeah, it's just something I was thinking about. But I made those 6 journals, and I think that's one reason why I wasn't hesitant to make this journal this month. I was a little bit, I felt like I had already made enough journals for the month, if that makes sense. It didn't seem like it could possibly be time to make another journal. But that's because I made 6 of them last week. So, you know, just kind of getting back in the groove of things after you know, my daughter left, about a week ago, and then I ended up, you know, been trying to help my sister a little bit still, and her poor shoulder is not healing at all yet. I have a feeling that they're going to end up having to do surgery on her, which would have been better just to do right from the beginning, not make her wait a month to see if it'll heal and then have to do it. But I don't know, it's broken in a very unusual place, and it's not, it pops, it just grinds with any movement, so I don't think it's supposed to do that. That was probably TMI. I'm sorry. So kind of leaning towards, I want this to dry a little bit because I got way too much glue on that. I don't know why. That should have been the same distance from the edge to this, unless I didn't cut my paper exactly in half. That's entirely possible. There's one way to find out. That's pretty close. It's about an 1/8 inch off, but it shouldn't have been that far off. That is, yeah, 6.5 and 6.5. So I don't know. I guess it just looks like a lot more than it probably is. So I'm thinking this for the inside. I think this is about the only month I would get to use that. That plaid is cute too, but I like this. Let me fix this real quick before I glue my paper on. We're going to probably play until the hour mark. I mean, unless we get done sooner. I mean, miracles do happen sometimes. I'm guessing that I won't get it completely done. Let's see if I can cut this one straighter. But I just wanted to kind of touch base with you, and, you know, I have been scarce as of late. I know that. Definitely not intentional, but oh, I worked 2 days at the clinic this month instead of my one, or this week, I'm sorry. And that was the day that I had the appointment where he injected my thumb, and then I went and helped my sister run some paperwork around to her doctor's offices and things like that. And took her some food and just stuff. And then I just haven't, I really was having trouble zeroing in getting back in the mojo of my craft room a little bit. Okay, this is driving me a little bonkers. I guess I didn't glue it straight, maybe. Who knows? So yeah, it kind of takes me a minute to get back into the groove of things. I also have not been journaling. So I probably, that first week in October that I did really well in journal, and then I have a few days towards the end, and October is very scarce. And then, so I had out all the October stuff, all the Halloween stuff, candy corn, whatever. And then I got all that pink stuff out because of the breast cancer walk. And then I had all my daughter stuff out. So I have like so much stuff everywhere, and it looks nothing like November. You know what I mean? So what am I looking for? But yeah, so just having a little trouble reining myself in here. So that's what I'm doing here. And I thought I would drag you along with me, right? As I do sometimes. Or bring you along, whichever. Sometimes it feels like maybe I'm dragging you along. But I hope that it doesn't feel that way to you. Sometimes it seems like it would feel that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I wonder if you even would want to see this month after month. But I also figure it's a chance to kind of chat and catch up. And I couldn't pull together a journal page. Because I almost just made this off air. If I had been smart, I would have made this while I was making my daughter's. That would have made sense. While I had everything out and was in that mode. There it is. I was like, I've lost that bone folder again. Yeah, so this is how scattered my brain is lately. So just trying to rein it in. Just feel like I'm, just gone in so many different directions here lately. So everything, when your brain is or I know for me anyway, when my brain is like all over the place, therefore so is everything in my world, my physical world as well. So yeah, I don't even have any funny stories or fun or funny stories to tell you. But no, I've been doing some gardening stuff, and that was kind of what I did most of the day yesterday. When my husband wasn't here, I was kind of using the opportunity to spread out, and I harvested a bunch of herbs and was drying those, and that makes a little bit of a mess. And so sometimes I like to do that when I know that he's not coming home right away, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like I have to clean it all up all at one time. So my girl is traveling again. And then I think she is done for a while. I know she is ready to be in one place for a little while. So she is somewhere in Mexico. Yeah, go big or go home, right? So she had a retreat planned there, and just living her best life. So there we go. Let that dry for a little bit. That still bothers me, but it's going to get covered up with the tape. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I would like to find that tape in other colors, but and you know, if I had bookbinding tape, it does come in other colors. What am I doing now? Let's see. While I let this dry, I haven't shown you this part in a while. Not that this is exciting by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought I would show you again because it's been a while since I've shown you what paper I use. And this is just the Pen and Gear sketch pad from Walmart. It says medium weight paper. It's got 50 sheets. It's only like $3.84 or right around $4. And let's see, there's 30 days, so that's 15. I need my 2 extra pages for my Inspired to Create challenges that I am behind on, way behind. I don't know if I will be able to catch that up, but I'm going to try. And so that's 17 pages, and then I need 1 for my planner. My sticker calendar. So what I said, that was 17, so I need 18 sheets. Did y'all get that journal math? So you need half of what you need, if that makes sense. But the only complaint I have about this paper is it leaves a little bit of that black, kind of the rubbery stuff from here, or the adhesive stuff. But I mean, that's a small complaint. It doesn't bleed hardly at all. I know alcohol markers bleed, but I just don't use my alcohol markers on this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, doing 2 at a time. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What did I say? 18? Yeah. Okay. I don't have an excess of scrapbook paper. I mean, I have plenty of scrapbook paper. Don't get me wrong. I don't have like excessive amounts of certain seasons or anything like that. And I think I learned in that, what, August or was that September that I did that book page? Yeah, that made me think too much. So I'm content doing plain white. 2. I think I'll fold them all, and then, yeah, this is the really exciting part of journal making, right? And I usually do this off screen, but maybe somebody else, you know, somebody needs to see this. We have new people joining us all the time, and maybe there's somebody that's watching this that doesn't know how to make a journal from start to finish. So we fold our pages, or you can glue them together if your pages aren't big enough. This paper is 12 by 9, so when it's folded in half, it makes 6 by 9, which makes it perfect for my 6.5 by 9 1/4. I never even looked at the height of my journal, did I? I think I leave it, yeah, 9 1/4. So I think when I cut the tabs off of the box, that's what that's what it is naturally, if that makes sense. So I just go with that. So that's kind of my cheat, I guess. It's easy, and that's why I searched for a long time a way to do this that was easy. There's not a lot of piecing papers together. I found paper that was big enough. I didn't want the regular copy paper or 8.5 by 11 because that makes it a little smaller than I want. I like this 6 by 9 or 6.5 by 9.5. What I really like is the composition book size. And this was as close as I could come without having to cut down papers or piece them together. So that's why I do it this way, if you were wondering. So I looked high and low for, you know, looked at several different types of paper and tried several different types of paper to see which one actually fit this size and fit my needs, right? Because I don't want all the pen and all the markers to bleed through. I don't mind not using my alcohol markers in my journals. It does rule out Sharpies, though. Now, I have seen Sharpie I've seen some that say don't bleed or whatever, but I haven't been brave enough to buy them or try them. If you happen to know about them and you want to chime in the comments, I would love to know if you've tried them and whether they do actually bleed. And I'm sure that depends on what kind of paper you put them on, but I think alcohol and Sharpie markers, they bleed through almost everything, or at least everything I've tried. So if you have a magic combination that you know works, please share it. But in the meantime, I like this. It's a good size. And, you know, I don't always have enough to fill this page up. But if I know it was a slow day, I mean, like the last few days, I was trying to think of, you know, if I journaled them, what I would put on them. And honestly, I didn't have a whole lot I was doing a lot. I mean, how do you depict that in images? You know, I was drying herbs. I mean, I guess I could use garden images, things like that. But, you know, it just didn't look like on paper a good representation of my day. So I have to think about that a little bit more before I make those pages. And I'm gonna just kind of press these down a little bit. And they do stick out, and I don't care. See how that black shows in? But I usually just put them on the back side of my journal, and very seldom do you ever turn the journal this way and look at it. But by the time you get all the stuff on it, I don't notice it that much. So I'm really not that worried about it. If you're worried about it, I mean, obviously, if I'm going to try to sell a journal, I would try to figure out how to get that off. I don't know. Let me know if that would bother you. If you were to want to buy one of these journals, would that bother you? It doesn't bother me at all. I could trim that off, I guess. Let's see, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. Journal. Yeah, I was making a journal. That's what I was doing. All right, so let me get my stuff out here. My jumbo paper clips that, oh look, they kind of match. Well, isn't that special? Isn't that special? Okay, there's a joke. An old Southern joke that I learned when I was in high school. And it's probably not, no, it's not clean enough for my channel. But it said something about, isn't that special? And it just makes me giggle every time I say that. If you've heard the joke, raise your hand. It's something to the effect of, when my first son was born, my husband bought me a fur coat. And the other lady says, isn't that special? The three, probably Southern belles, whatever, sitting around talking. And when my first son was born, my husband sent me to finishing school. Finishing school? She said, yeah, because I used to say, who gives a crap? Now I say, isn't that special? So now I giggle every time I say, isn't that special? Because I know what it really means. All right, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to line that up as best I can. And it's not working, so just don't worry about it. Aha, here we go. Anyway, that was not a nice joke. Not the real joke. I cleaned it up a hair. But it makes me giggle every time. My sister-in-law from Memphis told me that when I was in high school. And, yeah. Long time ago. Long time ago. I don't have to worry about my top and bottom here because I'm punching through the journal and the papers all at the same time. If you're wondering why I'm not worrying about top and bottom, that's why. I don't have to. I still have my foam adaptive things on some of my pencils. That was one thing I couldn't do when, after he injected my thumb, I couldn't write. It hurt to even I have a brace that the occupational therapist made for to immobilize my thumb, so I wore it for a couple days. Anyway. Okay, I think after I have fumbled with that for a while, I think I got it. But there's no way I could have done those couple of days. So that's why I'm late putting out my journal making, right? And I thought about doing a live late last night, like a midnight live. I was up. And I don't know. I was just tired, I think. And said, nope, I'm going to sit here. And I made some herbal tea. And I had recorded some of the Hallmark Christmas movies. And that's what I sat there and did. Right by myself. So, alright. But you see what I mean? I didn't have to worry. If you're going to poke your holes in your paper and separately from your journal cover, then you'd need to mark the top, because there would be just an ever so slight difference, if that makes sense. But I don't have to worry about that. I do have to kind of, keep in mind what is the top and bottom, but it really doesn't matter at this point. I used this orange and white. I don't know. Oh, darn it. Now, why'd y'all let me do that? I haven't put the tape on there yet. So all that I did, I have to take that off. And you knew that, didn't you? You knew that, and you were sitting there telling me you haven't put the tape on yet. You haven't put the tape on yet. Okay, so, and I even looked at the tape a minute ago, and I still forgot. I might use that one. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. I'm not wrapping it all the way. I'm just going to do... It just makes it harder to poke through. And I don't need that extra resistance with my thumb. It's still a little sore, but it's getting better. I mean, the whole idea of having the injection is so that it gets better, right? And it will. It does. It just is sore for a couple of days right after they do it. So I kind of line that up and stick it to the non-stick surface of the table. And that way I can sort of get it a little bit straight. Not really, but straight enough. And I'm just going to cut it. I just want just enough to wrap around like that. Now, my daughters, I actually wrapped them all the way around. And, because she didn't want any of the cardboard showing, which it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to put washi down them. Where am I out on time? Okay. All right, so back to where we were. Now let me see if I can reline these holes up and poke them through again. That should be easy enough to do. I had to degum my needle. I need to degum this because it gets really gummy. Yeah, I thought that went rather easy. And that tape, see how that kind of tore? When you have that tape on there when you're poking it through, it kind of keeps the cardboard from ripping a little bit. But that gumminess, it's gonna tear my paper here soon. I've got to clean it before I do it the next time. Okay. Ideally these would be clipped like I had them, but I'm not sure that I can get them lined up exactly like I had them, so I might have to just wing it. Look, Ma, no hands, right? Yeah, I might have to pull them back off, but I'll start with them. Okay, needle. And this thread. And 3 lengths of the journal. 1, 2, 3 is what I like to do. I think that's pretty standard. And let's see if we can, hey, it went. First try. I clip one of these little clips or something onto the end so I don't pull it through. I mean, if you pull hard enough, you're going to. She wanted her strands on the inside, not the outside. So in a way, it was easier getting it started, but it was also a little harder because it seemed backwards in my brain, if you know what I mean. So I had to really think about what I was doing. Okay. See, that just kind of it tells me when to stop pulling. Well, let's see if we're still lined up here. Pretty good, pretty good. Mercy, that tape is a doozy. It's very, very sticky. And let's see if it's going to come through without making a new hole. Yes. Yay, we got it lined back up. All right, good deal. Now, did I do that right? Yes, okay. I was like, that was too easy. What did I do wrong? And up through, nope. I made a new hole in my last month's journal. And, well, I just made a new hole. I just split the thread. I've done all the things that they say don't do. Now let's see if I got it right this time. Yeah, I've done all the don'ts. Let's see if I can do one of the do's. All right. I know not everybody does this, but I take my clips off at this point because I want it to kind of settle. You know what I mean? Come on. There we go. And I want the pages to move a little bit. I mean, they're not going to move far, but that way it kind of centers them and gets them all. And not everybody does that. I saw that. I learned that a long time ago, and I've just always done that. So I still feel like I forgot something. I feel like this went too easy. Don't you hate that? Did I miss something else? No, it looks like a journal. If it looks like a duck and smells like a duck, it might be a duck. So, how much time do we have left? Hey, we're doing pretty good. Not too shabby. All right, so what do I want to use? Now I get to play a little bit. I may or may not have misplaced what I was going to use. I love this. Maybe not for this journal, but oh, I like that too. I didn't see that the first time. That's kind of pretty. I'm not sure where I put the one that I planned on using. Aha. It was stuck in here. This is what I pulled out initially because I thought I would use that. And, you know, one thing this does is I barely got that tape over the edge of the paper there, but if it's not straight or whatever, it helps hide that. I think I would flip it this way. Oh, come on. I would want it that way, I think. What do we think? And I did remember to bring my art glitter glue in here at least. I think I kind of like that. We already decided that blue didn't match. I like this dark blue. I didn't have any navy thread, and that kind of sold me on this. Don't need gold. This is kind of neat too. It's kind of braided. That's interesting. No. Okay, and I dropped that other thread, so when I look for it here in a minute, remind me that I dropped it. This is very pretty. This is like that eyelash thread. I don't know. Just choose one. Just pick one. That's pretty. I still kind of like this. It's very twisty though. I don't know if I feel like fooling with that right this second. Okay, that's not too bad. No, I think I like this other one. And it's the one I pulled out. I think it was my first choice. So we're going to go with that. And I'm going to just run bead of glue right here. Not straight at all. That's okay. And I want the little loop-de-doos facing the inside, or that way. Okay. That's going to take a minute to stick, I think. Come on. It may not stick. I might have to get my, what's that stinky glue called? Fab-O-Tac. Let me get that started just in case this doesn't stick. But this should stick fine. I think it just was taking a minute to grab. So maybe that'll work. Maybe. Definitely want the ends stuck down. Not too bad for a quickie journal, huh? And I want to do the gratitude journaling. I know I'm behind already. Behind. I'm always behind. What's new, right? Behind. Always behind. Okay. I guess in hindsight, I could have put a piece of scrapbook paper on the front. Just a pretty one. I don't know. Anyway. I did that one time and then didn't end up using it. So I can always glue a piece onto here. I never end up doing anything with this one. I may put my calendar in the front this time. Oh, I am going to put, I want a pocket in here. That was kind of short. I might have to decide on that later, but what I do want to do, I never even used that. Got like one chance, one day a year to use that, and I didn't use it. Let's see. Pumpkin everything. Do we like that? Yep. Fall leaves. I think we already used that one. I like that. It's not as wide. And then this just says Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, I think I just want the pumpkin. We'll just do pumpkin everything. There's more pumpkins. This one thin is too thin. It just says gobble gobble. Let's do pumpkin everything. Because, you know, that's kind of, for me, it's probably more November than October. I know that's not the case for everybody. But I like to look at them in October. And that's when all the pumpkin everything comes out. But I don't start eating like pumpkin pie and all that until probably November. Well, you know, Thanksgiving, right? Let's see. All right. I'm going to kind of keep it the same. pumpkin everything. You know, that could be like all year long. I want to grow some pumpkins. I didn't even try this year. They just don't necessarily do well. I did have some success growing my own loofahs. Oh, remind me to show you that in a video. I actually grew a loofah, and it's a real loofah, like you use in the bathtub or in the shower, a scrubby loofah. Anyway, do I want that? It's kind of thin for a pocket. I think I'd rather take my time, and I probably will end up not doing it. That's what'll happen. But I like them a little deeper, like 4 inches. So that's probably more than I want to do. I'll find some just maybe solid color cardstock or something. And I'm going to use these. I'm not going to sit here and cut all these out with you, but I think that'll be fun. What do we think? Do we like? And see, I like these two. These are from February and June. Lydia at February and June. For her November. And I can use, I didn't use these pumpkins for October, so I can use some of them. I may alternate them. But this is listed and it matches both. The pumpkins and the leaves. And I did that deliberately. So that if you were buying them, you only had to buy one of these and then the pumpkins and or leaves. Not that you have to do either, but you know what I mean. Alright, I like it. I like it, I like it. And I think that's staying, so I can stand my Fabri-Tac back up before I have a Fabri-Tac mess. And I'm going to stop there. And hopefully I'll get back in the swing of journaling again. And yeah, did that pretty straight. That was not too shabby, huh? Not too bad, considering I had to redo it. So I hope that you are all well. And I hope that you enjoy seeing me make the journals. I hope that your journal is already made. Or if not, that hopefully this inspired you to make yours. And I will see you again eventually. No, I'm going to try to do a journal with me video. And then I'm going to see if I can at least get current with my Inspired to Create challenges. So I will see you again very soon. And y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.